to would you like to create a company culture where it becomes a catalyst for your employees' growth? Would you like to be that leader that helps shape the the professional qualities and the attributes that employee is going to develop into? Would you like to be that leader that actually helps your employees reach their better versions of themselves? Well, the best way to do that is to create an environment where everyone feels respected. Hello, if we haven't met before, my name is Fahim Karim, and I'm an employee engagement expert. And I've worked in the corporate space for the last 22 years, and one of the companies I worked for the longest is JP Morgan Private Bank, where I managed their cash operations with billions of dollars at risk at any given day. I also managed their listed options business for several years, and also involved in several large projects that required working with and collaborating with teams across the globe, across different cross-functional teams. And the thing that I always enjoyed the most is creating that environment where everyone feels respected, and that the employees and the colleagues that I worked with was willing to contribute more to the success of the team, success of the function, success of the project, because of this. One of the main things that I always try to focus on is giving respect. So I work with companies that are faith and value based, and I help create a corporate culture, like a safety container where everyone feels safe to vocalize and share their ideas. Managers get to lead and listen, and employees really get to feel empowered and safe to express their opinion, and the whole company continues to grow and innovate. So this particular topic that I wanted to share with you is a follow-up to my weekly video that I had created this week. It was about how to implement respect in your organization. The reason this is important is because in a study done at MIT, it showed that more than and they looked at like 700 large corporations, and 30% of them had respect as one of the top values that the employees and everybody could look up to within that organization. Having a great value but not necessarily knowing how to implement it can sometimes cause disconnect, and not knowing how to truly show respect sometimes leaves employees feeling highly disengaged. In a study published at Harvard Business Review, it shows that employees who are treated uncivilly, 85 or 80% of them spent a great deal of time lamenting about how badly they were treated. And 48% of those employees, they actually reduced their efforts. And it also shows that in another research, it shows that employees who are treated with disrespect, they actually in turn, it actually flows over to other co-workers. They also start to show disrespect, and even worse, the customers are also treated disrespectfully. So it's a really important topic, but what I want to share most, the thing that is how to actually show respect. Well, it comes from a place as a leader, a place that we have of compassion and care. The role of a leader and as a manager is not just leading people, but is actually to help them grow and uplift them. And when we truly engage in that, that is when, if we have that mindset that, I am here not because I'm better than my team members, but I'm here to serve them. I'm here to help develop them. I'm here to help them grow. Because by doing so, not only am I helping the organization, but more importantly, I'm actually helping my employees become the best versions of themselves. And by doing so, as leaders, we're the only ones who are going to benefit a lot too in the process. So let me give you two quick tips on how to do that. One of them is to create an environment where everyone is respected. How is that? So it is done by giving airtime, asking people to share their opinions, even though they may be nervous, even though they may be feeling uncomfortable, but creating that gentle way of letting them feel that it's okay to feel nervous, it's okay to express, but please contribute, because by you sharing your thoughts, we're then going to understand what you have to say. It may not be comfortable for the employee the first, second, or third time, but the more you encourage them, the more you will see the participation take place. And if you follow up offline because they weren't comfortable in that group setting, that also will help them participate on the next meeting. Right? So that's one tip. The other one is, don't make your employees give up in being themselves. Right? Ask them to bring their whole self to work. It's okay to be yourself. You don't have to turn into a perfect employee or the ideal employee we have in mind. By being yourself, and as a leader, helping them identify some of the skills that they may not even be aware of, that will help them professionally grow within the organization, is another way of showing respect. And this especially works for new hires and new employees. When you have a new employee, sometimes when they're coming into the new corporate culture and they're new to the corporate space, treating them with certain respect and care and letting them know about certain skill set may initially feel odd to them. Like, is that really me? But gradually, when they see the consistency in you as a leader, showing them the compassion, showing them that the skill sets that you see in them, they will start to realize that is truly them, and that is something they have, that beautiful characteristics that they may not even have been aware of. And by doing that, you're creating an environment where they feel comfortable being themselves. At the same time, they're able to contribute on their strengths, the areas that they're really good at, because each employee is different. You might have hired somebody for an accounting role, but it turns out he or she is really good at communication. Whereas you hire somebody for your communication role, it turns out they're very good at coordination and leading teams. So maybe rather than giving a negative review, how about identifying the skill set and letting them know, you know what, I realize you have this as a strength. Would you be willing to try this other role that will help you develop into that? And that is embracing their whole self, right? That's one example. The other one, sometimes we hear things like, it's good to delegate as a leader. Delegate, delegate, delegate. Well, research shows that delegation is not the way to go. What do I mean by that? So as leaders, sometimes we just take a function that maybe I'm too busy to do today. Hey, Joe. Hey, Sally. Hey, Subi. Hey, Charanjit. Hey, Miguel. Here's something I can't get to today. Can you please take care of this for me? That is not the way to go, because then that employee is going to feel like I'm being set up to fail. My manager never trained me on how to do this, and he's just giving me like a half an hour overview, and now I'm supposed to go run with it? No. So the ideal way to delegate is to spend a good amount of time training the employee, letting them test drive it, giving them feedback on how they're doing. When you feel comfortable that they really are going to be doing well in that particular function, then let them go with it. Just like a coach, when you have an athlete, you don't just take them and then say, okay, go. No, you spend a great deal of time training them, the mindset, the steps, the breaths, the exercise, the visualization, right? After all of those things, Then after practice, after practice, after practice, then only you let that athlete go and do the trials, right? So the same thing as a leader, taking the time to develop that employee is part of that respect. And when you do that, they truly feel respected and they feel cared for. So please leave a comment below. Let me know what are some of the challenges that you are facing when it comes to employee engagement. What are some of the things that you're seeing in your organization that you need help with, and that you feel that there's an opportunity to engage your employees more? And would love to hear from you so that I can provide you some of those tips and solutions that you can right away apply. So if you like what you have heard today, connect with us on LinkedIn and follow us on LinkedIn so that you don't miss out on any of the weekly tips and strategies that I share on how to engage your employees and how you can become that leader that everybody's going to love to work with.